Hi, thank you for your question. So for those who are new, my name's MJ. I'm HSV2 positive, which means I have genital herpes, and yes, I just announced that on the internet. I do videos on it to spread awareness, which reduces stigma, which also reduces infection rates. So if somebody isn't showing symptoms, they're asymptomatic and they have an inkling that they might have, genital herpes, yes, a blood test is what they typically would be given, to rule out if they have it or they don't. Unfortunately, these tests are very controversial because they are not super reliable. In no way do I want to come across that I am discouraging anybody to seek out any type of STI testing because I always advocate how important I think it is. But the thing is when your body has like an HSV2 infection, like you contract genital herpes, your body's response obviously is to produce antibodies. These blood tests detect those antibodies, and that's how you get a positive or a negative. The problem is it does take a little bit for these antibodies to like develop. So if somebody, just had like an encounter where they think they may have been exposed and then they run to the doctor and get tested, they're going to get a result that could be negative and think, oh, I'm off the hook. But that's not entirely true because their body may have just not built up the antibodies yet. It's important to remember that up to 90% of people with herpes do not even know that they have it because the cases are asymptomatic, meaning they show like no symptoms at all. So I definitely think, more people should, take heed of the testing that is available, even if it's not, super wonderful. It could be improved. As if I'd know how to improve, you know what I mean? I'm acting like I know. But since so many people, don't show symptoms, it's so important to still request to be tested for HSV, especially because on, I think, most STI panels, I still think they don't include HSV. I had to be asked to be tested for it. I was actually asymptomatic for like years until I had a hormonal change because I went on testosterone. Then I had an outbreak and got tested. But I was asymptomatic for years, and that is so scary to think about that. Like, I just had no idea. So, regular testing, no matter what, is so important. Personally, I believe that, like, when it comes to testing for HSV1 and HSV2, they have a lot of work to do. I say that because during actual outbreaks, like I had already received an HSV2 diagnosis just by like a visual examination. And like two or three times I've gotten swabbed, which is usually it sounds awful because honestly I can't lie, it is awful. But basically when you have an outbreak they like swab a sore. And like two or three times for me that came back inconclusive. When I clearly, clear as day, had an outbreak. So hopefully in the future, they come up with more reliable and accurate testing, I guess. But still, until then, if somebody is asymptomatic, I would highly recommend that they get a blood test.